Hey, if you'd like to earn CEUs for this webinar, join the Safeopedia community at the link in the description below. Now, on to the show.
Hello and a warm welcome to everyone. We would like to wish everyone a good morning, a good afternoon, or a good evening, depending on where you are in the world. My name is Samantha from Safeopedia, and here at Safeopedia, it is our mission to support you, the EH&S professionals, operational folks, and any safety-minded individuals with free safety information, tools, and education. I'd like to extend a huge thank you to all of you and your dedicated professionals for the great work you do on a daily basis in keeping our workplaces safe. Just a reminder, this webinar is being recorded and we will send out a link to the recording to everyone in a few days. Let's keep it interactive. Get your questions and your comments into the Zoom Q&A and the Radiance team will get to them at the end of this presentation. Today, we are proud to present the significance of grip in hand protection selection. The Safeopedia webinar has been made possible today by Radiance, a preferred manufacturer member of AD Safety Network. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you today's presenters, Justin Ladd and Coulter Atkins. Today, we welcome back the Radiance team as they walk us through the selection process of hand protection and why the proper hand protection will not only help to reduce accidents, but improve productivity. I'm very excited to have you all sit back, relax, and enjoy this presentation. With that, Justin and Coulter, let's jump into some hand protection.
We appreciate it, Samantha. So thank you all for joining us today to talk about hand protection and really dive deep into the coatings which affect the grip. My name is Justin Ladd. I'm the Director of Product Development here at Radiance. I've been in this industry for a little over 20 years, with most of that being in the hand protection side. To my right here is Coulter Atkins. Coulter, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey, Coulter Atkins. I'm the Associate Product Manager of Retail here at Radiance. I've been here for just over 5 years, and most of that has been on the glove side, and just glad to have you all with us here today.
So let's talk about what we're really going to discuss today. We're going to talk through, what OSHA really requires. Then we're going to talk, like we said, about the glove coatings and in particular, really about the grip. Then we're going to do a live demonstration for you guys to be able to show you the differences in the grip in different conditions. Then we're going to talk through the assessment and the validation process, and then what resources are available to you all to help you along with that selection process. So we're going to start by talking about OSHA. And OSHA requires a workplace hazard assessment be performed. And then under the general requirements, really the hand protection side is based upon what the hazards the employees are exposed to.
Yep.
And then also within the hand protection, we got to think about the performance characteristics of the product itself based upon the tasks that are being performed. And when we talk about characteristics, I use attributes of the glove. So there are really 5 attributes in what the glove making decision process is. And that's fit and comfort. If it doesn't fit, if it's not comfortable, you're not going to wear it. Protection. If I need a high cut level glove, I'm not going to use a non-cut glove. Grip. If I'm not able to hold on to the tool I'm utilizing, I can't perform my job. Dexterity, being able to pick up those small parts and pieces. And then the durability, the useful life. When you really look at these 5 attributes, there's only one of them that you can really associate a true cost to, and that's durability, useful life. It lasted 1 shift, 2 shift, 3 shift. Everything else is very subjective. I'm going to put a glove on, Coulter's going to put a glove on. We might think it fits a little bit different. One of us might think it's more comfortable than the other. So they're very subjective.
Yeah.
But kind of like as we spoke, we are really going to hone in on the grip. So the next part of this presentation is really only about the coatings and the grip.
Yeah. And then, some of the considerations that you're going to need, when looking at the glove coatings, within those different attributes, the environment, are you dealing with wet, oily, or dry parts? And this is kind of what we're really going to kind of dig deep into today with our, with our different demonstrations. But then there's also the protection needs. Is there a minimum ANSI standard that's required at, one specific job site? Then the dexterity requirements. Are you dealing with small parts, or do you need to have, that fine dexterity, or are you dealing with more heavy duty tasks? And then the durability. And this is really going to be, in the environments, within every, single hazard, that you're dealing with. But first, we're going to start off with a dry test and, get into that.
Yeah, so we're going to actually do a dry demonstration here. And as you can see here, I have different coatings here. I have my control in the leather. Then I have my polyurethane, crinkle latex, and my foam latex. And then down here on the bottom row, we have flat nitrile, foam, our microfoam nitrile, our sandy foam, our engineered proprietary FDG coating, and then our coating with nitrile dots on it. And you see here, I've got this shuffleboard pucks. So, it gives us a very consistent weight. So it is really in a controlled environment. So I'm going to start by setting on the top row here on the PU and the 2 latex and the control. And we're just going to start angling this up. And you can see the control's already gone. I'm barely at an angle and it's already gone. The next to go was the foam, then the PU. Look how long the crinkle latex lasted. I mean, I'm almost at an 80-degree angle here. So we're going to do the same thing with the nitriles, and let's see how they react. So as I start going, what's going to be first? So your microfoam and your sandy foam are first, followed by the FDG. You can see what's last is your flat nitrile, your foam nitrile, and your dots. And the whole reason for that is there's a lot of tackiness to the flat and the foam nitrile. And then in the dots, it's really only because the dots are made out of that flat nitrile. So it gives it that tackiness.
Yeah, and that, pretty much is kind of what we were expecting.
Yes.
And so now we're going to go, dive into the different coatings and discuss some of the benefits and limitations of each. Starting off with the nitriles, which are naturally oil and water resistant. First, you've got flat nitrile, which has a naturally non-porous and sticky surface that offers great grip in dry conditions and excellent abrasion. But as soon as liquids are involved, it becomes too slick for use. The non-porous surface also limits breathability and flexibility. Then you've got foam nitrile, which is more breathable due to an added foaming agent that creates a thicker coating and micro air pockets that increases grip in oily conditions by absorbing light oils. And this creates a suction-like effect for increased grip. But the thicker foam coating also leads to a loss in dexterity. Then moving on to microfoam nitrile. It is thinner and coarser than foam nitrile as it goes through an additional production step of air blasting that removes small bits of the nitrile, which gives it that coarser texture. This gives microfoam excellent breathability, dexterity, and grip in oily conditions because that coarser texture acts as a channel for the oil to roll and escape from. Then you've got sandy foam nitrile, which goes through the additional production step of a salt dip, which gives it excellent abrasion resistance, but the extra material reduces breathability, dexterity, and grip. But this is your go-to coating for heavy-duty applications where durability is most important. And now FDG, flexible durable grip. This is a proprietary coating from our own design that combines the benefits of all the nitriles without the limitations. It gives you the grit and abrasion of the sandy foam, combined with that coarse texture of the microfoam that channels that oil away. We've also included this chart as a cheat sheet showing how each stacks up in the different environments and recommended applications that will help you find the right solutions. And now we're actually going to go live to a grip test with Justin on the nitriles where he's going to go through the oil and wet conditions. Justin?
Thank you, Coulter. So as you can see right here in front of me, I've got 2 buckets with PVC pipe coming out of them, and there's concrete in the bottom of these buckets. And each one of these is about 40 pounds in weight. And starting off, I have our flat nitrile here. You saw in the dry grip how well it did with dry grip. And Coulter talked about it was good and dry, but not as good in wet conditions. So we're going to start with water, on the nitrile coating. But before I actually put water on here, I'm actually going to show you, it's not that difficult to lift up in a dry condition so that you can kind of see the comparison of when I actually put water on it. So as I put water on this and rub it around, you can already see kind of how that film that it has. It looks slick now. And then whenever I come down here to pick it up on the same line, you could see here, I cannot grip. My hand slips immediately. So what does this tell us? This really tells us that anytime that I get any kind of water or oil on a flat nitrile, I no longer can grip the product, you know. So now we're going to go to our foam nitrile and our sandy foam nitrile. And we're actually going to use oil this time, because anytime that you deal with oil, you know, it's always going to be a little bit slicker than water. So again, I've got my trusty 3-in-1 oil here that I'm going to be using. So I'm getting the foam nitrile oiled up, and the sandy foam nitrile oiled up. You know, so rub them together, get them all good here. So going down here to the line again, see how I start picking them up? It's really, really hard to pick it up with that sandy. I'm still holding the foam. You know, the sandy allows for added abrasion, but you lose grip because of the raised texture there. You know, so now we're going to go to our microfoam and our FDG. So again, got the FDG on the right hand, the microfoam on the left hand. There's already oil on these pipes, so I don't have to reapply. Go down here to the same lines. You see how much easier it is to pick that up, you know, because this is giving you superior grip. The benefit to the FDG is it not only gives you superior grip, but it also gives you superior abrasion resistance. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the latex and polyurethane coatings. Coulter?
Justin, thanks for that spectacular demonstrations on the nitriles. And now moving on. So outside of the nitriles, you've got latex and polyurethane, or PU. Now, latex is naturally water resistant, but also an oil absorbent. The crinkle latex is created through a rapid heat curing process, which gives it that wrinkled surface and increased surface area for superior grip in wet conditions and excellent abrasion resistance. The thick coating offers no breathability and decreased dexterity, though. And then foam latex. It goes through the same process as that foam nitrile with that added foaming agent, and gives it good grip in light, wet conditions with excellent breathability, but also reduced abrasion resistance. And then you've got polyurethane, or PU. This is your sense of touch glove. It's much thinner than the other coatings, providing that great dexterity, but a loss in overall protection. And PUs do not absorb or repel liquids, but they also don't funnel it away, making it only useful in light conditions. So we've also included this chart, similar to the nitriles. It's kind of that cheat sheet showing how each stacks up in the different environments, and then the recommended applications that are really going to help you find that right solution. And now, similar to how we did with the nitriles, we're going to go live to Justin for the latex PU wet and oily conditions grip test. Justin?
Thanks, Coulter, again for that explanation on the different coatings here with latex and polyurethane. So currently right here, I have our crinkle latex gloves on my right and left hand, and we're going to do water and oil at the same time. You know, Coulter spoke about how it was really good grip in wet conditions with crinkle latex. You know, not as good with oil. So what we're actually going to show you. And one of the things that you think about when you also think about latex is cold weather. A lot of cold weather gloves are actually dipped with crinkle latex. And the main reason for that is, number one, latex really doesn't break down in that cold weather, but also snow. Obviously, snow is associated with cold weather. You know, working outside, you know, as that snow melts on our hands, we still need to be able to grip whatever tools we're dealing with outside. So I'm going to go with water on my right hand. So here in the crinkle latex, going to get this all watered up here. And I'm going to go with oil on my right. Again, you know, same pipes. I'm going down here to the bottom here. You can see how easy I'm picking this one up, and this is just slipping right off. You know, so I get really, really good grip in wet applications. Excellent. It's one of the best out there. But once you introduce any kind of oil, I cannot work in it at all. You know, now we're going to do polyurethane. Again, we're going to do water and oil at the same time. And, you know, Coulter talked about it being light oils. And the reason why is on the polyurethane is not a breathable coating at all. So as the water or the oil is up on top of this, it just stays there. So light oils, you still get good grip, but the more oil, the more water you get on it, the less grip you're going to have. So I'm going to add some water here to this one. And we already have oil over here. So again, go in here. I can pick them up, but you can see how that oil just slipped. And now the water just slipped. And you can see here on my palm, the oil from my right hand, how much oil I had. The more oil I would have, the less grip I would have. So we hope this demonstration really helps you understand the differences in the coatings and the grips and how they react in water and oil. And that you can then take this out into the field so that you can also have a better solution for being able to grip the products that you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. Coulter?
Thanks, Justin. I hope these demonstrations really kind of hammered home those points the way that we were talking about. But there are some other attributes that we do want to discuss. And welcome back, Justin. I think those were some pretty heavy buckets over there. But moving on to some of those other attributes. The first one is going to be your dots. So this is really going to be kind of that durability attribute, where it's basically a second coating, because once those dots wear down, you've got that second coating there underneath it. And then touchscreen. So technology is continuing to improve in the work site and with our personal devices. So more applications are requiring that touchscreen devices on the work site. And the last thing you want someone to do is have to take off their glove when they're actually having to work with those applications. And then the thumb saddle. This again is another durability attribute. It's really going to make that glove last a lot longer, because this is going to be your highest wear area with a glove. This is going to be one of the first points that start to break down, because really, I mean, I can't think of any application where you're not using your index finger and your thumb on applications.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coulter, for going through those other attributes. So we kind of went through those attributes and then the grip, honing in on the grip. And so the question might be, well, how do I really know what the proper solution is for my application? So we have you covered here at Radiance. We have developed a hand protection assessment tools that is really a list of questions so that we can hone in on really what attribute matters most. We really talked about the grip attribute today. That might not be the greatest importance in your application. It might be dexterity, it might be protection, it might be durability, useful life. So being able to have these questions really lets us be able to hone in on that proper solution.
Yeah, because each job's going to be a little bit different, and the hazards are not going to be the same across the board.
Absolutely. And it's one thing to give you the solution and say, hey, this product is going to work in your application, but we have to be able to validate that. I've been in this business a long time. Coulter's known me for a long time. If I told you, Coulter, hey, this product's going to work in your application, you'd probably believe me.
Yeah.
But you'd still want to test it.
Yeah, for sure.
So we have to go through that wear test to be able to validate that the solution actually works. So how can we help you? If you go to our website, you'll see a chat box. We have regional sales managers all in the field. They live in the areas that your workforce is in. They can come out with your local distributor and help walk through this assessment and provide these solutions. I encourage you to go to this chat box, find out who that regional is in your area, reach out. They'll bring your local distributor in with them and help you through this process, along with other resources that we have available on our website to help choose the right solution. We have our fast facts, where it's our leather fast facts, our cut protection fast facts, and our disposable fast facts, along with our knowledge base information that not only goes over the coatings that we went over today, but also goes over the different shells that we really didn't tackle today. We understand that there's a lot of applications out there, and there's not a one-size-fits-all glove. So whether your application only requires non-cut coated gloves, or leather, or welding, or cut protection, or you need performance style, or you're working in the cold weather or cold storage, or our brand new line of disposables, here at Radians, we have a glove that can fit your application. We want to thank you for joining us today. We really do appreciate the time that you guys take out of your day to learn about being able to make your workforce safer, more productive.
Yeah, and we really focused on, the different coatings today, and I really hope that you were able to walk away with, something that maybe you didn't know before. But definitely thanks for all your time, and appreciate you guys being here with us.
Absolutely. And before we get to questions, you'll see the QR code up there in the right-hand corner. Please scan that. That'll take you directly to our Fast Facts page where you can download those Fast Facts. But also, you'll be on our website so you can get to that contact us, that chat box, to find out who that local RSM is in your region to help you through this process. We appreciate your time today. Our saying here at Radians is work hard, stay safe. So we hope that you take this out and really stay safe in your application.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, guys, ton of really cool information. I'd love to see the live demo. You might be mind readers because every time I had a question, both of you answered it, and I can see from the Q&A that our audience feels the same way. I guess my main question when it comes to PPE, especially hand protection, we often become complacent with, well, it almost fits. It almost has the dexterity. So where do we start when we get to that complacency? How do we evaluate it? I know that there is the evaluation assessment sheet, but how do we get out of that complacency of, well, it almost works for my application?
So that is a big issue where it almost works for the application. And we talked about the 5 attributes. And unfortunately, there's not one glove that hits perfect of all those 5 attributes. So it really is about being able to keep the workers safe with what's the most important 1 or 2 attributes for that safety precautions. An example of that is if I need a lot of dexterity, but one of my main problems might be I have potential for back of hand impact that I need to protect. Well, I'm not going to get an 18 gauge dexterity without back of impact with that TPR on the back of the hand. So I've got to give up a little bit over here of dexterity to be able to get that impact, as long as the dexterity piece does not cause a safety concern.
Yeah, because the productivity side of it is definitely there as well, because you still need to be able to complete the job, but you want to be as safe and as productive as possible.
Is there a rule of thumb to sort of draw that line between safety and getting the job done?
To me, safety is the most important. And in all honesty, with the vast majority of gloves out there, and you guys saw the spread that we have here at Radians, and with all the new technologies, if you're having that issue, please reach out to myself, reach out on that contact list to your RSM. We need to do this assessment. I am very, very certain that we will have a product that you will get what you need, that you're not having to sacrifice any productivity for any safety concerns.
Yeah, and then the technology has definitely been increasing. So if you're using the same glove that you were 5 years ago, you're probably not up to date with what the current technology is out there.
Perfect. And how well do you think that the Radians assessment sheet for choosing the right apparel will help us move away from decision fatigue so that we're not overwhelmed by, and we can see them, all the different glove choices that you got?
Absolutely. So, going through the Radians assessment takes about 15 to 20 minutes. It's different questions. Obviously, not every question is on there because depending upon your answer will depend upon if we need to dig into that a little bit further. And our RSMs are very qualified in doing that as well. And one of the problems that I've seen in the past is the validation standpoint, like you said, being overwhelmed with all the choices. I shouldn't be bringing you back 5 different choices. Everything really comes down to application specific, to where you would have, a good, better, best, or even a best, better, where it's only at 1 or 2. And with that wear test, we're actually going through and coming back a week later and validating what you are saying, your workers are saying, to understand that we fixed that attribute issue that you were having from a protection problem, from a safety concern. So therefore, it does kind of eliminate all the noise of all the other products out there and just trying to throw something up against the wall and hope that that's the right fit for you. But by asking those questions, we can really hone in on the proper hand protection for your specific application.
Perfect. Yeah, take that 15, maybe 20 minutes if you need to look around, but make sure that you're doing that assessment so that you're getting the right product for the right application. Well, while I give everybody some time to scan that QR code and reach out with any final questions, Coulter, Justin, is there anything you want our audience to take away from today, keep top of mind so that they can be successful? I know we've covered it a lot. I know we've said it, but if there's anything else you want them to take away, let us know.
I mean, I believe the one thing that I want everybody to take away is we are very passionate about keeping workers safe. That's what we believe in. That's what we breathe every day. And we're producing products to do that. So I encourage you, take the moment out of your time to do an assessment with one of our qualified RSMs. The worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to find out you're in the exact hand protection that you need.
Yeah. And I would say kind of, really what we discussed today was, those different environments, the different coatings are going to be, vastly different if you're, working with wet, oily, or dry conditions. So that would be one thing is, to, really take that home with you.
Perfect. Well, thank you, both of you. Thank you, Radiance. Thank you, AD Safety Network, for allowing you both to be here today. We appreciate all of this invaluable information. So thank you again. I want to thank everybody for attending today and all of the dedicated safety professionals for the great work they do on a daily basis in keeping our workplaces safe. I encourage you, scan that QR code, reach out to Radiance. Justin said it best. They want to keep you safe. So make sure you're keeping yourself safe. So thanks again. Take care. And again, stay safe. Bye, everyone.